Welcome to Fluent Nerd, a not-so-serious discussion on all things nerdy. I'm Z.
I'm Neal.
And with us this week is Brian.
Hey, this is Brian from Zero Dark Nerdy. Happy Halloween, everybody.
Happy spooky time.
Spooky. Skeletons everywhere.
Yeah, we'll add some sound effects there. Probably not, but maybe.
That's how I am. I'm like, hopefully I can insert a decent sound effect here, and when I can't, I just don't. So.
Well, Brian, thanks for joining us, man. We are big fans of y'all over there at the Zero Dark Nerdy, so we're happy to share the airways, as it were, right over here at the Fluent Nerd. And we all thought we'd do
definitely.
Yeah, no, just a nice spooky Halloween episode where we come together and do some spookiness together.
I've been accused of being a ghost before, so right up my alley.
Well, I've always grown up wanting to be a Ghostbuster, so now you guys are making my dreams come true. So
there you go.
Oh, there you go. Yeah, we just had to throw Z into a proton pack.
Don't cross the street. Total protonic reversal.
Perfect. Yeah, and also too, we're big fans of the show as well. Unfortunately, it's just me tonight. Our schedules have been a little crazy. Mine more than the other guys, but Matt and Saba and Jordan and Jerry and Nicole and everybody else, they send their love and happy Halloween as well.
Well, we accept their love and we send it back.
Gorge themselves on candy tomorrow.
Yeah. If there aren't at least 3 more of us who are diabetics by the end of this, then there was a failure somewhere.
Oh yeah, don't think about that. It's probably not your favorite holiday, is it?
Not for the candy, but
oh well.
I guess I don't like horror movies. Candy's kind of an aversion to me, so I don't know why I like Halloween so much.
I don't know why.
Mainly for the cosplay, I think.
Yeah.
But
how are we friends at all?
So what is it? What is it? Why? Like, what is the main reason you don't like scary movies? Like, did you grow up not liking scary movies? Did you have like a bad experience?
Yeah.
Like, we need to know the story behind this.
So
he was touched by an older uncle who
I can actually, I think I can literally narrow it down to the exact movie that really.
Okay.
So yeah, like firstly, like even as a kid, I don't like being scared. When I was a little kid, I loved roller coasters. I cried when I was too young to go on the ripcord over at it's like the biggest like bungee jump thing up in Cedar Point up in Ohio, where my grandparents would take us every year. I'm originally from Michigan, but so that was something we used to do. But I loved that shit until I was about, I don't know, 10, 11, 12, something like that. And there's a movie. It's a really shitty movie, actually. I don't really like it. I don't think it's a good movie. It's called The Others. Have you guys ever heard of that movie?
Okay.
Kidman?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah,
It's exactly right.
That's not even scary.
I know.
Wimp.
But my brothers tortured the shit out of me with that movie.
That's what brothers do.
I know. But like we were hanging out with my grandparents. They have a big motorhome camper thing, and it was super spooky because it was like in the middle of like fall, winter, and it was super scary. Like there's a lot of wind rolling around, and I was just a little kid, like before preteen. I was 10 or 11 years old, and they were just fucking with me. And we had watched this movie, and I did not want to watch this movie, and they forced me to watch this movie. This is before we had cell phones or anything, so I couldn't escape into my own little world at all, and it totally fucked me over. And I don't like being scared. Like Z decided to keep me stranded one time. We were like ice stormed. We were hanging at his house. We got into an ice storm. And he threw on Babadook. Oh yeah. And that fucking scared the shit out of me.
Okay, that is much better than The Others.
Yes. But I think I trace it back to like we were watching The Others and my brothers were just screwing with me. I can't even exactly remember how or why, but I hated horror movies ever since.
On the other hand, I was watching and reading Stephen King books at like 10, and God, I've seen. I remember at one point I had a Blockbuster card, of course, because I'm old.
Oh yeah.
And I watched every single horror movie in Blockbuster, like over a summer. Yeah.
Wow.
I would read like 4 or 5 at a time every weekend, and it took me all year, but I did it. I watched every B movie and C movie in there.
How much did you rack up on late fees?
My grandparents. Oh, we didn't have late fees because we'd turn them in and we'd rewind them first. Literally, some of these kids have no fucking clue what we're talking about.
Decon and rewind.
Yeah.
Oh, the struggle was real. Just between, remember to rewind them and then getting them there on time early. So there's nothing beats the Friday or Saturday night at Blockbuster.
Yeah, do you remember like the race car rewinder? If you were like real fancy, you had an auto rewinder.
Yeah.
I remember.
Oh yeah, yeah. That's when I thought my parents were rich.
Yeah.
Yeah. As soon as my dad brought one home, I was like, "Ma, we made it.
We've done it.
Hey, look, Mom.
We're in the 1%.
No shit.
Don't need to take the bus to school anymore, Ma. I'll wait for the limo outside in the morning."
That's right. But yeah, I've seen literally thousands of horror movies, and they just don't do anything for me anymore. They don't scare me. I kind of got bored of them, honestly. Like, nothing did it for me.
Right.
The last horror movie that got me good, I mean, I liked it, Chapter 2, but I didn't like it.
Sure.
For most people's reasons, but Cabin in the Woods got me.
Oh, yeah. No, that's a great one.
Yeah, because I just didn't see it coming. I was like, another shitty horror movie I've seen a million times. And all of a sudden, you're like, well, hold on. Holy shit. This is cool now. What happened? Neal, that's
that's oh yeah, I mean it's very underrated too. That's one of Jordan's favorite. Actually, it's a lot of our favorites on the podcast as well. Saba, like yourself, he doesn't watch the horror movies either, so there's usually like 4 out of the 5 of us that talk horror. But Cabin in the Woods is definitely up there.
That and Get Out, that was pretty freaking good.
Okay, I haven't seen Get Out, but I've heard really good things.
It was really good.
It's good. It's good. What's his name? Peele.
Jordan Peele.
Yeah, he did. He did his thing with that one. So
he did his second one too.
I mean, it's a horror movie.
Yeah, like Us, I think. What's it called? He did a second one too.
I think it just came out.
He did Us. To be quite honest with you, I did not like Us as much as Get Out. It's not terrible by any means. I mean, I like what Jordan Peele's doing. Especially. Even though I haven't really watched any of the new Twilight Zone episodes, but he's definitely got like a great mind for horror.
Yeah, he's got good timing.
Us to me, right? Yeah, Us to me was a little bit of a stretch, but Get Out I thought was was on point. I mean, it's horror for minorities. It's just like holy shit, this could happen to us. Yeah. So besides just the typical being the first to die in a regular horror movie, like this is some more psychological fucked up shit.
Especially if you're a virgin, you're like double fucked then. Well, you can't be a virgin or a slut, actually. You're kind of screwed either way.
Yeah. But if you're a virgin, you get to light the candle and bring back the Sanderson sisters. So
yeah, that's not a horror. I don't try and work hocus pocus and feel like it's scary.
I'm not. It's my failed attempt at a joke.
Oh my god.
Yeah, I just saw that they finally greenlit part 2 after all these years for Hocus Pocus.
Really? I don't know how I feel about that.
Shut up. It's going to be great.
No, I get so tired that everything has to have a freaking sequel now.
It's better than a remake.
I agree.
I'd much rather a sequel than a remake.
Man,
true.
You can stay in the universe. You can keep the same actors. You keep the story rolling instead of redoing it. If you're redoing it, you're losing all the progress you made, in my eyes. If you make a sequel, at least you're giving the proper fan, you're giving the fans props. Like, I'm not going to fuck with your shit, but I'm going to make it I'm going to try to put my mark on it without screwing it up.
This is true for almost everything except The Last Jedi.
Well, we're not.
That is a horror movie, okay?
Brian's going to hang up on us if we start bitching about Star Wars.
That is a horror movie for Star Wars fans, that's for sure.
Yeah. What is the worst case for a Star Wars fan? Last Jedi.
No. So we're talking about taking the Rogue One scene of Vader just chopping everyone up.
Oh, yeah?
And making it a full-length horror movie. Can you imagine how fucking good that would be? It's like from
that would be awesome.
I would love to see a horror movie where like a bunch of rebels are in a base and Darth Vader's fucking
he's on that fucking ship and Vader's just coming after you the whole time. You're running the whole movie.
Hold on, I gotta write this down.
Now, people have already proposed. I don't think the mouse is going to start making horror movies though, but that'd be pretty sick if they did.
Yeah, you never know. And I will say this, I mean, Rogue One was already a great movie, but those last few minutes with Darth Vader, finally, after all these years, seeing him kick some serious ass.
Yeah.
Oh, God, that was great.
So good. Yeah. We are off topic.
It made me a little wet.
It's all right. We do it on our show all the time. So.
Oh, yeah. But
what's a podcast if you're not completely off topic?
That's a good point. That's a great point. But yeah, obviously, I'm not really into horror movies, which is odd because I don't really believe in anything paranormal. I don't. I don't know. Most horror ideas aren't things that I worry about in real life. But whenever I'm watching, especially like demonic shit,
you should always be aware.
Always have a stake in your pocket.
Yes. Is that a stake in your pocket? Or you're just happy to see me.
Yeah, it's so weird. I can't nail down why. I guess I kind of nailed it down. Like my brother's kind of screwed up for me, but I don't know, man. I
remember
don't care
convincing
for
my
horror.
brother that our house was haunted, even though it was like built when we moved in. But somehow convinced someone died in the basement. He believed me. It's just what big brothers do.
That's all.
Yeah, a little bit.
So have you guys had any like paranormal stuff happen in your neck of the woods, whether like recently or as kids or anything like that?
Yes, I have. Neal said earlier he hasn't, but I've got several good stories. There's several haunted places like right around where I live. Most of them are kind of BS, but there's some good backstories on some, but I've never seen anything fun there. But the one time I've had a ghost experience, I was driving through South Georgia on my way to a college thing, and I see this like sign for a museum, and it was a sheriff's something museum, and I had a couple hours to kill. So like, fuck it. So I pull in this place, and it's this 2-story old building. I go in, and I start talking to the old lady, and she's the only person there. And she's talking to me and my girlfriend about, I'll give you the tour. So we start looking around, and the way this place was built, it was made like probably 1890s. And the main floor, I think, was the sheriff's house and the courtroom. And then the top floor was the jail. So the sheriff's wife would cook food for everybody, like all the prisoners, and the sheriff lived there. They'd have court there and all that. So we're going through, and she's showing us all this crazy shit, like multiple Klan uniforms that most of the deputies were in the Klan. It was like, that's unsettling as fuck. I mean, like, what the hell? It's just on display. Like, okay.
Right.
So she shows us the courtroom, and I notice in the top of the courtroom, there's like a trap door going to the next level. I'm like, interesting. So we go up to the next level, the second floor, and everything, it looks like a Wild West jail. Like everything's wrought iron bars, like big cages made like hand hammered, like old as shit. I'm like, this place is cool. Now keep in mind, this place didn't even like have AC in it. There was nothing. There was barely electricity. So we're looking, and they had a pine box that had an imprint of a body in raw cotton. I'm like, huh? And she's like, yeah, that's the last guy got hanged in here was laying in here for a few days before someone claimed him. I'm like, that's the imprint of his body there, just casually. I'm like, oh, okay.
Before
cool.
someone claimed him?
Yeah.
They claimed the body?
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
So we go in this last room, and it's this like 10 by 10 cube of wrought iron. And old lady walks in, my girlfriend walks in, I go in last. And we go in there, and there is a noose hanging from the ceiling. And the trap door that I saw earlier was on the floor of this. So she's explaining that they would hook you up to this thing and drop the floor out, and they would just dangle there till you die.
Hang by the neck till dead.
Then they cut the thing, and you fall into a wheelbarrow, and then they take you out to the mortician. Like, it was a whole process.
How efficient.
While she's explaining this wrought iron door slammed shut behind me. I'm talking force of 1,000 suns. And I know for a fact no one touched it. I was the last one in the room. I walked right by it. It just slammed shut and locks us in. And we pretty much shit our pants. Old lady didn't even move. She walks over and unlocks it. She's got the key in her hand already. I didn't even notice it. And she's like, yeah, that's our ghost. I'm like, hold the fuck up. Why didn't you leave with that? Like, what are we doing here? And so...
Like it's the damn pet dog of the place.
I know.
It's just scruffy.
Just let him finish as he's humping your leg.
Oh, he don't bite.
Yeah. So I'm like, this is bullshit. So I start like looking at this door, and it's basically rusted shut. Like I had to push it as hard as I could to get it back in place. There's no springs. There's no magnets. There's no electric wires anywhere near it. There's no way to explain it at all. And I'm like, fuck this. I am out. And so we're walking out, and she's like telling us about how, Ghost Adventures has been here, and blah, blah, blah has been here, and Sci-Fi Channel's been here like 4 times. I'm like, okay. Why didn't you start with the fact that this place is haunted as shit, lady? So, other than that, though, I've put myself in every weird situation I can. Like, 3 a.m. graveyards and shit. Nothing. Not a thing. I got my one out of the way. Kind of lame.
Yeah,
how often have you done the 3 a.m. graveyard thing?
Oh, God.
Quite often. I live in an area with a lot of old graveyards, and I have access to some of these places, so I just end up creeping around.
That's not weird at all, Z. That's not weird at all.
Hey, man, this is my holiday, all right? Don't kink shame me, first of all.
Hey, that's all right. You're knocking out our creepy demographic. I love it.
Yeah.
So keep it up.
But just... I don't know. I can't get the ghost to do anything to me, but I've also, I take precautions because you know,
Garlic necklace.
my thing is, I think
I was just getting ready to say garlic, silver bullets. You got like the first aid kit, the paranormal first aid kit.
I do. We'll get into that. But my thing is, I don't think ghosts are going to screw with you unless you're really screwing with them. You know, like if you're kicking over like grave markers and shit, like peeing on gravestones, yeah, they're probably going to haunt you. Like they don't screw with me because I don't really do anything to them. But I always carry a ghost kit with me when I go on these excursions. And like I was at Marie Laveau's in New Orleans and I stocked up on shit. I've got like white sage and I've got holy water. I'm not even Catholic. I don't know what it would do, but I'm going to fling it at something if it comes after me. I've got wooden stakes and a Bible. You know, if I got to press it against something's forehead, and you know, I need a young priest and an old priest. I don't know, man. I guess it's better to have this shit and not know how to use it.
Hey,
it'll work.
Do you have a wooden crucifix in there?
I don't have a wooden crucifix. I have a silver crucifix.
Even better.
As long as you got it,
yeah.
Nice.
It's for silver bullets. I've even got some chicken bones in there in case like I come across someone who does voodoo or hoodoo or something. Like I don't know what these are for, but I've seen you guys use them, so take this and get rid of the ghost for me.
Heck yeah, you definitely have like the original 1980 like Fright Night first aid kit. So that's
pretty much, man.
Awesome.
It's like it's like a regular first aid kit. You don't have to have any medical training to carry this shit, just in case like some EMT comes to save your ass and they're like, I need another bandage. Like, I got you, bro. Here. Same thing. Here's some chicken bones, man. Do your magic. I don't know what to do here.
Oh, Jesus.
Help me, Ricky Bobby, with your voodoo magic.
Oh, God.
So, yeah, haven't had to use any of it, but I've got it. You never know, man.
Jesus.
You never know. I know. I just might need to look into that. I mean, I definitely believe in spirits and stuff like that. I also, too, I don't think that they would mess with you unless you did something in return. But you never know. Obviously, you hear the stories and see the movies. The craziest encounter I think I ever had, I didn't even know I was having a encounter, quote unquote. I'm doing like the air quotations like you guys can see me. But
we have a
I woke up one night. Right. You know, I woke up one night from a night of bartending and I'm sure like drinking after hours. And I roll over and at this point, this was, you know, mid 2000s. I had like a big screen, like an old school, like projector big screen in my living room that weighed like 200 pounds, or in my bedroom, I mean. So I look over and I'm like, and I kind of see what looks like a little kid sitting Indian style watching the TV, and then this old man like behind him watching it as well.
Hold your house.
So at that point, yeah. And this is like an apartment complex too. Like if this was some creepy old house, I would have been like, we got to get the fuck out of here. So I didn't think shit of it. I was like, you know what? You're just drunk. Like roll back over. You're going to go to bed and forget about this.
I see nothing.
Yep. I was just go back to bed. And I sure as hell did. A few months go by. And then my girlfriend at the time, we're sitting there having lunch or something. And she's like, you know, she kind of stops what she's doing and she goes, babe, have you ever like woken up in the middle of the night and like seen a little kid like watching your TV with like an old man behind him? I literally dropped my fork because I didn't tell anybody about this.
I'm like, we need
anybody
to see
at all
get
whatsoever.
The fuck out of my house. I don't want to talk to you anymore. Delete me off your Facebook. We're done.
Yep. So that was my paranormal experience. So did not stay in the apartment too much longer after that. Luckily, the lease was about up anyway. So whoever's there now, enjoy the spirit of the kid and the dad just sitting there blankly watching your television.
I know I've had a few friends who've had very similar. Yeah, I've had a few friends who've had similar things happen. One buddy, I think, if I remember the story right, he was in a frat and he went to school somewhere, I think in South Atlanta, somewhere in Atlanta. And his frat house was like this ancient house, like built in the Victorian house, you know, fucking Scooby-Doo manor.
So Sherman missed it on his march to the sea.
Okay, 1890s was after Sherman burned everything down. Way to go.
I'm an idiot.
Anyway, yeah, us people who are from Georgia know when Sherman burned the whole thing down, okay?
Go fuck yourself.
But I was going to say, I can't help you with that one.
Yeah. So he woke up and he saw this dude, and he described him as like being dressed in all black with a trench coat and like a fedora type look, like what is it, Mad TV?
Oh, Spy v Spy.
Spy versus Spy.
Oh, like Spy versus Spy. Yeah.
Yeah. He said he had very, very angular. Everything was sharp, and like he just stared at him. He had glowing red eyes, and they kind of shifted and then disappeared. And he said he saw this thing probably 10 times over 6 months that he was there. And he said on his frat brother
Holy crap.
too. Like it was just a thing that lived in the house.
Nope.
Yeah.
Nope.
And they couldn't afford to move anywhere else, so they stayed there. But he said he saw that.
Yeah, that's just weird. Yeah, I mean, plus it's just watching you have sex and do whatever, whether with a person or by yourself. Like, no, I'm good on that.
Yeah.
Jesus. No, I
again. Remember that movie, Scary Movie 1, where the ghost is banging the chick on the ceiling?
Yeah.
I need to rewatch that. That fucking movie's hilarious.
Oh man.
They got really.
So I know you don't like the regular horror movies, but do you like horror comedies like that?
Yeah.
I've
definitely seen, at least I think the first 3 scary movies.
Have you seen Tucker and Dale versus Evil?
Can't think of. I've seen Evil Dead.
Oh my God.
Evil Dead, I like.
Tucker and Dale is one of those.
Oh yeah.
You gotta watch.
I've never heard
Have
of
you
it.
seen that, Brian?
Yeah, love it.
It's a fucking great movie.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I'll do a horror comedy. I just I hate jump scares. And that's just cheap ass horror to me.
Either, though. You don't like either type of scare.
No, I don't. Like, I mean, suspense. Like, the reason I hate most suspense in most horror movies because I know it's gonna end with a fucking jump scare.
Not always.
Right.
90% of the time.
Yeah. 90%.
If I know there's not a jump scare, I'm like, okay, I can get into this. I can just be, scared. But like, I fucking hate jump scares. They're cheap and they're dumb and they're bad writing.
You can't call
I mean, I agree. I mean, that's how a lot of the movies were in the 80s. It was a lot of jump scares, and just you said it. The very end of the movie, when you think it's just all over, there's always that last jump scare at the end. And for me, it all started with Tales from the Crypt, and the show kind of began with a jump scare where the Crypt Keeper jumps out of you.
Well, I just bought the whole DVD set, dude. I fucking love that.
Oh,
show.
Nice.
I'm working my way through it, and the amount of actors that were on there before they were famous that I forgot were on there.
Yep.
It's like ridiculous. Yep. I'm only about 4 or 5 episodes into the whole thing, but man, I remember some of those so vividly. I could, like the Christmas one, where
oh God, yeah,
with the axe murderer.
It's kind of like
yeah, I remember that verbatim. I know every part of it.
Like, that one is one of my favorites. What else? The one that still scares the shit out of me to this day. It scares the shit out of me. the shit out of me is the one that's got Morton Downey Jr. and he's like he's almost like the ghost hunter thing, but he goes into the house and the house is legit haunted. Like I think that's season 2 or it's either season 1 or 2. But God, that one still sits with me to this day, and it's unfortunate too. When we had our HBO podcast, I was talking about Tales from the Crypt being one of my favorite shows down there, but they don't have it on HBO Go or HBO Now, so you have to go out and buy the DVDs to watch it.
That's
what
really
the
weird.
hell? They need to take a page out of Disney's book. This Disney platform is doing it right, man. You get everything Disney's ever fucking made.
Yeah.
Everything they're gonna make, it's all on there. There's no.
Yeah, I guess the closest I have to a paranormal
HBO got
story.
rid of real sex too. I was so pissed.
Taxi cab confession.
You want to watch some scary shit?
Stuff.
You watch Real Sex on HBO.
Hey man, I came up with that shit. Back when you watch the scrambled TV channels just to see a tit. You're like, oh my God, there's a boob.
I caught one.
Take 30 seconds.
Yeah, I guess the closest I have to a paranormal activity story is a buddy of mine and I got drunk with the ghost hunter guys at DragonCon one year.
Oh wow, okay.
You know, Zach Baggins?
No, it was shit. What the hell was it? It's
There's so many ghost shows.
No, it's like the Discovery Channel's Ghost Hunters, where they what the hell are they called? It's
I think Zach Baggins is good.
Yeah, it's completely out of my head now. I'm gonna have to Google the Ghost Hunter names.
Oh yeah, okay. So I go to Savannah quite a bit, and I've done a lot of ghost shit in Savannah. And that's supposed to be, according to who you ask, it's the most haunted place in the U.S. But I've heard that.
Right. Have heard that.
But so they were tearing down this giant mansion in Savannah, and it's actually on this little island outside of it called Oakland Island. And I caught wind of this, and I was going down there with my ex-fiance at the time. So we found out about this, and there was a company that was like, for $100, you get to stay in there all night. You get locked in, and they give you a bunch of shit to like find ghosts with, like audio recorders and infrared and all this other crap. And you just go in there, and it's like 50 people are allowed to just roam around. But they'll give you a little tour, and you just wander the whole night. And we did that.
And then they have little children laughing in the corners.
I didn't see shit. But they were supposed to
found shit.
Well, they were supposed to like go listen to the audio recordings and tell us if they, because we're asking questions and hoping the thing will respond to us. And it was bullshit, but it was really cool to creep around like a 150-year-old mansion that was about to be torn down. I enjoyed that because I think it was.
Yeah, that was pretty cool.
Yeah, I think they built it as a retirement home for railroad workers back in like the 1870s or 60s, and then it became, I think, the first home of the CDC. Like a bunch of yellow fever victims went there, and of course all the old people died in there, and then the yellow fever victims died in there, and like a shitload of people had died there. And then, like, I think when we were there, it was a book depository type thing for the school board. Yeah, it's very freaking weird because you go in one room and it'd be like all this old chemistry sets from like the 70s. You're like, okay, and you go over here, and it's definitely creepy. I mean, I probably had a higher risk of catching like plague from rat shit in there than I did seeing a ghost.
Jesus.
Did they have like old? Did they have like old bingo boards from when it used to be a retirement home or anything like that?
I don't know. I'm not sure bingo even existed back then. It was a long ass time.
I wonder how long bingo's been around.
Yeah, I don't know. That's a good question.
If any of our listeners know that answer, then let us know. But
we'll probably never mention it again. But
the Ghost Hunters, it's Steve Gonsalves and I think Dave Tango is the other guy. Those guys, it was on Discovery Channel for a while. I used to watch the shit out of that show. I don't know. It was always interesting to me.
You hate it.
Well, no, that's not like horror stuff. Like they're just like actual paranormal investigators. Oh. But I also used to watch the show called A Haunting on Discovery Channel.
Oh, like Haunting.
Okay.
Yeah, but that's like it's like theoretical, like real life paranormal stories, and they just like dramatize it. But they also have like this people went through it and they're like interviewing them, kind of documentary style. And that stuff always interested me. Even though I in my heart, I don't think I believe in paranormal activity at all. But I mean, I'm highly interested in like the technical aspects of it. So
there's I can't give away the location of this place because it's a little top secret. But there's a small, scary. There's a small schoolhouse that was built in like 1900 around, one of the places where I live, and the story goes that one of the teachers there was accused of like molesting one of the kids in like the 1905, 1907 time frame.
Damn.
And before the crowd could like get to him to take him to trial or whatever they're going to do to him, he hanged himself in this schoolhouse. And allegedly, it's still haunted from that. It is just unsettling. It's a creepy fucking place. It's on the grounds of a church, and both of the church and the school are just terrifying. So I've been around that place around 3 a.m. looking for trouble. But there's all kinds of myths about that place. And then there's another church in my area that allegedly got burnt down by Satanists in the 80s or something. So, yeah.
Those damn Satanists.
Yeah.
Hail Satin.
Yeah, I don't believe it because of the panic thing from the 80s where, D&D and metal music and everything was Satan.
Right.
Everyone knows Dungeons and Dragons are all Satan worshippers.
Pretty much.
That's why they're super rich right now. Well, the majority of them.
Yeah, Wizards of the Coast sold their souls.
That's right.
So what are you guys doing for like actual Halloween? Well, I guess by the time this airs, it'll be tomorrow, which will be Halloween. Are you guys doing anything for the holiday weekend?
I'm going to give out candy and like avoid talking to children as much as possible, but we'll see. I'm in one of the smaller neighborhoods where like there's a billion kids who come through. The yards are small, so you can hit 1,000 houses really fast. So
perfect for kids, man.
Yeah, I have a lot of them. I even bought candy.
Yeah, I went to 2 Halloween parties this last weekend.
I did too.
But I think either I'm going to just like close my house down and not be here and go find something else to do, or I'm gonna sit in front of my garage with a cooler full of beer and a bowl full of candy.
Yeah. I thought about being a dick and just leaving a empty bowl on my front porch that says "Take one," and then the first kid who gets there is like, "Oh, someone already cleaned them out," and they just wander on. That way, you can't get your house egg.
Yeah.
So you don't have to spend.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Literally leave an empty bowl. Yes. That's a dick move.
It's a dick move, man, but it worked because they can't do anything. He tried,
Oh, some kid already got everything.
That's the tagline of my blog. He tried.
What about you, Brian? Any Halloween plans?
Same thing. Gonna get off work, let the old pup out. Probably hand out some candy for a little bit, and might go to our little neighborhood watering hole, Stumbles. It's 15-year anniversary on Saturday, but I'm watching my niece and nephew, so my sister and brother-in-law can go see Bad Bunny. So I'm gonna let them do their thing and be the good uncle this weekend. But shout out to Stumbles for the Halloween weekend and their 15th anniversary. But yeah, just kind of chilling tomorrow. It's unusually low key for me, which I think is a sign of me getting old, which really sucks because normally I'm like all about Halloween, but this year I'm like, I'm gonna stay in and watch my niece and nephew like a good adult. So I don't know what's wrong with me. I'll fix this shit by 2020. So
well, I just turned 30 this year, and I went to 2 parties in a row this weekend, and then Sunday, like literally had to take the whole day off, the whole day and night. I was completely fucked. I dragged my way into work Monday and still hated life. I'm like, is this what it's like being in my 30s? I hate this. I hate all of it.
For someone that's almost 40, brother, I'm only going to tell you the truth. It's only going to get worse. The hangovers last a lot longer. You're like, you will just wake up and stuff just hurts. Like I don't know. I can't call it, but it's just like, damn. And I told my friends too. I was like, and they're like 36, 37, right around there. And I'm like, damn, man, this is the first year where I actually feel like I'm fucking old. So we'll see. Maybe I need to eat kale. Apparently, kale's like the fucking solution to everything nowadays. So
I think I'd rather die.
Change the diet up. yeah, no shit.
I'd rather be a fat ghost than a skinny living person.
I've been eating better recently, but I will not eat kale. I can't do it. Can't fucking do it.
Yeah, no. I try to eat it, somewhat healthy, but kale, I tell you, I can't do it.
Kale's what you use to dress up a salad bar and stuff.
That's actually what I'm giving out.
Right.
Candy. I'm giving out kale. All the Gen Z kids.
Then you will get your house egg.
No, because eggs aren't vegan, so little hipsters won't get me. But they're non-dairy eggs at my house, or non-chicken eggs, or I don't even know what to do.
What is
what does Gen Z? Yeah, how do they egg houses? These questions I need to answer.
Yeah, what do vegans give out for candy?
I don't know, but I imagine it's terrible. Coloring books. Coloring books.
We'll have to figure that out. That'll have to be like our poll questions on Instagram. What do vegans give out for candy? So when this airs, people, get on both of our websites because we want to know what vegans give away for Halloween.
That's right.
Oh, jeez.
Assuming you have the strength to type, because you have no news.
Because you're emaciated and no protein. Oh God! Apparently, airheads are vegan.
Okay, I like it.
Ah.
Yeah. I can fuck with airheads.
Yeah,
I can see that. Yeah, if you think about it, there's probably more than Starburst. I guess would those be vegan?
I don't know. As long as it isn't like an egg binder, I think that's.
I bet they give out Necco wafers. That sounds like a vegan thing to give out. Here's some shit rock candy from 1810.
Ooh, dots are vegan.
Like the paper dots?
Okay.
No, like those things you get in the movie theater.
Oh, I like those dots that are on the paper.
Dum Dums are vegan. The Dum Dum lollipops.
No. Vegans are Dum Dums.
Expose them.
Exposed. Oh man, this is good though. This is gonna be a really low key Halloween. But
it's rainy and shitty here.
Yeah, it's supposed to thunderstorm tomorrow, so I wonder if any kids.
Same. Yeah, same here. So I guess we'll see what happens. But even though we didn't get the air of the episode, I am looking forward to meeting you guys at Dragon Con next year, and hopefully sooner than that. So.
Yeah, man, for sure. Yeah, because we still got to get up to was it North Carolina WonderCon or something you guys were saying, or I have it written down somewhere else, but
yeah, actually next weekend, and I'll check back in with you guys too, is Durham Comic Con. So it's not as big as and they renamed it too. So it used to be called Raleigh SuperCon. Okay. Now it's called Raleigh Galaxy Con. Yeah, so that's the big one next summer. But Durham Comic Con's coming up next weekend. So. Not too many huge names. It's just gonna, my daughter and I are gonna go hang out, but we'll shoot some videos and take some pictures and send them down to you guys. And
hell yeah, man.
Obviously, I need to send over some stickers and some shirts from Zero Dark Nerdy as well.
Yeah, vice versa.
We're not at the shirt stage yet, but we got stickers we'll send you.
Like I said, I'm just a terrible salesman. So these are all shirts I was supposed to sell, and I didn't sell any. So now I'm just giving them away to people.
Well, hey, Brian, our immense audience, guys, if you're a fan of Brian like we are, is there a website they can go to purchase these shirts?
Yes. Yeah, you can check us out at popculturepodcast.com. It's actually one of like 3 different fucking names we have. But that's like the easiest one to find us because the rest of them are just hard to spell or just idiotic. So, popculturepodcast.com. You can go on there, leave us some comments. We got the blog page, of course, the podcast up. Eventually, I will get around to selling these shirts. If you are interested, just shoot me an email and we'll figure out payments on the dark web. And go from there.
The dark web. I like it.
It's only 3 Bitcoins per shirt. No big deal. Just 3 Bitcoins.
Right. As far as social media goes, Zero Dark Nerdy, Facebook page, Instagram, Twitter. We're on Twitch and Discord, but we don't know what we're doing. So if you hit us up on either one of those 2, you probably won't hear back. We are on Reddit when we're not getting hazed for just breathing on the fucking website. So,
that's actually how.
Ooh, they can be brutal on Reddit, buddy.
Oh God.
That's how me and Brian found each other. But I will not make a Reddit I'm not making a Reddit for the Fluent Nerd quite yet. I'm not. My constitution is not strong enough. Kudos to you. I can't do it.
Well, we're at least on the good page. I will say this: like the podcast page on Reddit is way more like friendlier and positive than the rest of the other pages. I will say that.
True. That is true.
They show some mercy because if you even try to put like a meme up anywhere else or God forbid anything, I mean, they just railed the shit out of you. So I'm like, I'm just going to hang on the podcast page with my people. So I try to ignore the other pages.
Sounds good, my friend. Well, hey, thanks for joining us. Again, I know we tried to do this one time and the audio kind of got mixed up. So glad we were able to do it this time. But
it's a pleasure. And be sure to let our fans know too how they can find you guys. Website, social, podcast, all that stuff.
Yeah, absolutely. We are at the Fluent Nerd on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. We're trying to be a little bit more active on Twitter. Dear God, you want a horror film?
I love it.
And our website is under construction, but it is the Fluent Nerd at thefluentnerd.com. So currently not an active page, but hopefully soon it will be. But again, Instagram, Facebook, those are the primary places you can find us.
Yep.
And if you want to send us any messages, we are thefluentnerd@gmail.com. So I mean, one of us is friendly. You guys can determine which one, but
one of us is friendly. We're not the friendly ghosts together. We're 2 separate entities. Casper's a little bitch.
What a wonderful note.
Awesome, guys.
Yeah, but thanks, man. And we'll have this up on Halloween. So if you guys listen to this on Halloween, happy Halloween. It's afterwards.
Yes, happy Halloween, everybody. Guys, thank you for having me on. So again, you're listening Zero Dark Nerdy for our fans, the Fluent Nerd. Make sure you check these guys out. Awesome podcast. What was the one that we talked about before? Oh, and the intro music. I can't stress enough how much I love your intro and outro music. I can't wait to hear it. So that's how much I love it.
All glory goes to our guy,
yeah.
Sean Ryan. Yeah, Sean Ryan's our man for that. He's taken his time out to make some really good stuff for us in the past. So all props to him.
I know. I kind of want him to wouldn't you want him to retire though? Because I wouldn't want him putting out more fire shit like that. I mean, look, and you need to stop with ours. Don't make any more intro music. You already topped it with ours. Stop.
No, his band's really good too. I mean, you guys check him out. He's all over the place.
Yeah, he's on SoundCloud and Facebook and other things. So yeah, Sean Ryan is where you can find him. But we'll put all the shout outs. I'm going to edit in an outro most likely so we can recover all this if people are listening to us meandering on. But Brian, it's been an absolute joy. Thanks so much for jumping on our podcast here. We hope it's the first of many times. And we look forward to seeing you and the rest of the crew sometime in the future soon.
Yep.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Keep representing Georgia the way you have been. I appreciate it, fellas. Have a good one.
You too, brother.